We've got a huge update as we've got some rare comments from Lakers Governor Jeanie Buss as she spoke out on J.J Redick for the first time publicly, and she described her excitement to do things differently. She also came to the defense of one Bronny James as she praised his work ethic and resolve, which quickly received some jeers within the crowd. What's good? I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and this is Lakers Digest, coming at you with another video. And before we get into everything we have for you for today's video, guys, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to get those Laker updates. Now, let's dive straight into those comments that Jeanie Buss recently just said, as it is rare for her to really do an interview, especially in this public of a setting. But Jeanie Buss speaks out on J.J Redick. So, Jeanie Buss recently did an interview with a local LA radio station out in Costa Mesa, and she said, covered a number of things, talking about J.J Redick, LeBron James, and even Bronny James as well. But first and foremost, J.J Redick, because this is the first time publicly that she has said anything about the Lakers' new coaching hire, as she said that the Lakers, Jeanie Buss explains the decision to hire J.J Redick. We wanted to kind of think a different way. Now, there's definitely more to it, as she said a couple more about J.J Redick is more in depth with this quote here, as she said, we wanted to kind of think a different way. Really, he's got a vision. I'm not comfortable with talking about the basketball stuff, but we are looking for a candidate that would bring something different and really invest into developing young players. JJ is the right person for us. Again, I just want the work to really speak for itself. So I don't want to hype it and say it's going to be a home run. We have to give him time to establish what he wants to establish. I'm really impressed with his staff. Right now, it's not mandatory for players to come in and practice, but players are coming in and working out. The coaching staff with Nate McMillan and Scotty Brooks, there is a lot of experience that will be there for him to make an adjustment to be a head coach. Certainly a 12-year-long career. He's got a lot of experience. He knows what this league is about, and I think he'll be a great leader. So that was the full quote about what Jeanie Buss said about J.J Redick. And obviously this is very interesting to hear, because Jeanie Buss doesn't usually speak, like I said, speak too much on the Lakers on the basketball side of things. Like, you'll see here a lot behind the scenes, or say if there is like a big event, say a jersey retirement or a statue reveal. So she'll be the one being running point on that. When it comes to the basketball decision, she usually leaves it up to Rob Pelinka. But these things kind of echo what are some of the same things that Rob Pelinka was talking about J.J Redick being a very meticulous guy and being a diligent worker, and a guy that is going to come in and day out and give his best effort, like he did as a role player for so long he did in the NBA. And it was actually 15 years, I think she said 12 there, but it was actually 15 years that J.J Redick had his career for. But Redick coming in, that's always good to hear once your owner talking good about you, especially in this hard situation, which it is coming into being a Lakers head coach. It is not an easy job for the fact, especially if you're a first-time head coach and also a coach who's never coached at this highest level of before. But the Lakers also bringing in guys like Scotty Brooks and Nate McMillan, it looks like will help J.J Redick in making that transition into becoming a head coach. And that is all onus on Rob Pelinka and just what this team is bringing behind him, because I do believe Jeanie Buss does believe in her hire and what she wants to do, but then she also wants to give him the room to grow and sort of like establish what he wants to establish, because we also have to put in mind J.J Redick has mostly thoughts and ideas of what he wants his basketball team to look like, but he hasn't put pen to paper just yet. Now, obviously, things has already started to change in this early parts of the season. We've got reports of the Lakers doing things even a little bit differently in some of these offseason workouts, because with the exception of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Rui Hachimura, most of the guys on the roster have been in and out the Lakers facility at one point or another, getting work in with Redick and the new coaching staff, and also doing different types of drills. So instead of just doing just solo individual work, they're doing more one-on-one, two-on-twos, three-on-three type of stuff. So that really can help build continuity, help figure out some guys' tendencies, and also help guys understand what some other guys do in a team setting. Now, obviously, this is mostly the same roster from last season to this season, with the exception of the two new rookies, or I should say 4 new rookies if you add the two-way guys. But all of these players just need time to learn Redick's new system, because I think that's a little bit what Jeanie was hinting at, as they wanted to do things differently. So it seems like J.J Redick is of that smart basketball mind and mold, but he has a different way of thinking about things and then probably going about an offense. So this has kind of been something that's been, I think, something that's been foreshadowing for the Los Angeles Lakers, as Anthony Davis said a little bit about it before, I believe it was before they went into their gold medal run and stuff like that, but he was talking about J.J Redick and his new offense and his new system, and he said it was going to take some time for the players to really adjust to a new system because they haven't played that style of basketball before. So it seems like what J.J Redick is kind of doing for the Los Angeles Lakers seems groundbreaking in some respects. So looks like these players who've been coming in through time and time, we've seen pictures of guys like Max Christie in there, also Austin Reaves has been in there, Gabe Vincent, Christian Wood, Bronny, Dalton Connect. All of these guys have been in and out that Laker facility, getting in that work, and hopefully to learn of what J.J Redick's new system is going to be, so they can be able to adjust to that. But it's always good, like I said, for a new first-year head coach to have that backing from your governor. So Jeanie Buss is probably going to throw all the support her way as she possibly could, and hopefully that will lead to some success for Redick. And that also kind of leads me to my next point here, as Jeanie Buss also defends Bronny. So Bronny James came up. There was a question she was asked about it in the Lakers drafting Bronny James, and there's been obviously a lot of things being said about the Lakers drafting Bronny, but this is what Jeanie said, as she said, "We have to let the kid have an opportunity to play and prove that he should be in a Laker uniform," Buss said. And everything we've seen from him about his work ethic and some of the things he has to overcome from being the son of a big star, he works hard, he is dedicated, he really wants to do this. And if we can have a roster of players with the same mentality, then I think the sky is the limit. Now, once she said this, it was reported, so for some of the people there, that there was a rain of booze. So it was down there in Costa Mesa. So if you're familiar with the Orange County area that is out there towards those beach cities. But yeah, there was like a rain of booze when she said that quote there about Bronny. And I feel like that was definitely just a little bit misguided, because we are totally missing the point on this Bronny James thing, and a lot of people really want to talk about nepotism and just sort of the things that he was given to, but then we gotta look at ourselves, and like, not more than a year ago, Bronny James' heart had a heart condition, and then where his heart literally stopped. So there was a point in time where he didn't even know that he could play basketball again, let alone be in the NBA and playing on the Lakers. So just for the sheer fact that he was able to overcome that and do that, that is extremely tremendous and should be celebrated, really. But we're too busy focusing on what it looks like, and then also with LeBron James and whatever ill will people have towards him. So a lot of this has really been misconstrued from the fact, and it just takes away from the story that a father and son are going to play on the same team, which has never happened on an NBA court before, and I don't think it never will happen again, because of just being a player, one, being the father being old enough and good enough to play that long, and then also the son being young enough and good enough to play at that level at the same time. So I don't think we'll ever see something like this again, so it should be more celebrated than it is veered or jeered about. But it just comes from what some of the people are thinking or perceiving, that what the Lakers probably should have or could have done. But Bronny James was the 55th pick. There wasn't too many guys, I think, at or around that range that is really going to be a difference maker on your roster. He's going to be the guys who is probably going to be in there towards that end of that roster, and he's going to be playing most of his minutes in the G League anyways. So he's going to be trying to be growing as developing as a player. He's still 19 years old, so there's still a lot of things that can go right for this guy. So he just has to work at it, get better, and just really grow as a player, which I don't think he's going to do too much with the Lakers Big Cup. But we've seen with already some of these workouts and some of the news that we've seen with Redick and the guys, that they want to have sort of like a youth movement and help really build up and develop some of these younger players. Now, Bronny James has the tools to be a solid NBA player, 6'2", really good size, around 210, and he's got a very good wingspan, about 6'7". So he's the guy who can probably defend a lot of different point guards and then do it well, and then also be a guy on the offensive end, hopefully, to knock down some shots. Now, he did struggle a little bit in parts of Summer League, but towards the end of Summer League, he started to pick it up and figure things out, and that really just is going to tend to happen for a guy like Bronny James. Like, it's not going to come to him early, as he missed a lot of time last season. Like I said, having that heart issue, like, that is a difficult thing to come back from. Not a lot of people really go back to playing basketball, let alone going to the NBA. So definitely Bronny's going to need to take some time to grow up and develop, but that's why the Lakers brought in a guy like J.J Redick to help facilitate with sort of some of these things. And if Bronny James is a solid player and can contribute, then fine it is. But if he isn't, then it kind of is what it is, because this sort of thing happens in the NBA. Like Blake Griffin had a brother that was on teams for years. Same thing with Thanasis and Giannis's brother. And even some of the other family members that you'll see in and around in this league. Like, it's not going to be the first time, and it's not going to be the last time that something like this will happen. But let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think about Jeanie Buss's comments about J.J Redick? And do you agree with her that you like his worth ethic and some of the things that he can bring from his playing days? And then also, do you agree with her and Bronny James and how his worth ethic and resolve could be something that could be transparent, and if it was within every player of the team, that it would bode well for the Lakers' success? Let us know in the comments down below. I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.